Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and I am documenting my journey to financial freedom and achieving financial independence. And at the beginning of the year, we started off with some financial goals. And now that we have wrapped up both quarter one and quarter two, it is time for us to do a financial goals check-in. And a quick overview looks as if we seem to be on the correct path to achieving our goals, but there's definitely some room for improvement. And we're going to cover a few of those in this video today. To go back to where we started at beginning of 2021 and came up with a different goals for different areas in my life. So one of which is being financial. And so our first one was really, the big one was to pay off all of our debt except for our mortgage, because our mortgage is, well, at the beginning of 2021 was over $400,000. And I'm ambitious, but that was really ambitious. And the amount of debt that we had one credit card, we had one personal loan, and that was $43,000 that we want to get paid off this year. Second, we wanted to save, and this was both our sinking funds and then our emergency fund and some other savings accounts that we had, aiming for a total of $19,240. At the end of quarter one, when we started getting a little bit ahead of schedule, I decided to bump up earlier, increasing my knowledge around investing, because this is going to be the really big next step in our financial journey, is our investing to be able to hit the numbers that we need to be at. So if we want to become work optional prior to the traditional retirement age, which here in Australia is 60, where we would be able to access our superannuation, that we would be able to do that. And if possible, start getting our feet wet. And our initial goal was to start with investing, getting $1,000. At the end of quarter one, we increased this to a goal of investing $3,000. So we're going to check in against these benchmarks to see how we are going. But just a quick reminder, because I do have a tendency to forget, if you do enjoy this video, do please give it a like. If you have something to add to the discussion or any questions, drop them down in the comment below. And if you'd like to follow on my journey to financial independence, by all means, please do subscribe. And you can also follow me on Instagram. And if you have any questions that you don't want to ask here, definitely feel free to direct message me any questions that you have there. And I can either answer them at that time point, or I can work those questions and answers into a future video. So let's get into each of our goals. Our big one, pay off all of our debt except for the mortgage. As I mentioned, we had a credit card debt. It was estimated to be at $12,786. This did include interest. And then we did the same with our personal loan. So our personal loan with anticipated interest to be paid was $33,378. We did pay off that credit card in full, and that was in May of 2021. So that was a big tick of a portion. And if you watched my video on Tuesday, if not, I will have it linked here. We recently just paid off our personal loan. So we are completely debt-free except for the mortgage, and we achieved this well ahead of schedule. So with our financial goal number one, we can say that we have achieved 100% that financial goal. And that leaves us the remainder. The big one being saving $19,240, which is a bit of a random number, but this is because I went through, factored in all of our sinking funds, amounts that we were trying to get, where we wanted to be with some of those. So it's really just part estimate, part guesstimate. There's definitely a margin of error on that. So the first component was getting our emergency fund to $2,000. We were doing this while we were focusing on the debt. We had already had a start to our emergency fund. We just wanted to top that up. Currently, we are 54% of the way to this goal. Our second was our priority sinking fund. So these are our short-term and medium-term saving goals. If you watch any of my cash envelope stuffing videos, those are usually on Sundays. There's about once every other week. This is where I talk about my sinking funds. I also talk about them when I am doing my budget for the month, and then also with my reconciliation as well. And so our priority sinking funds, we were aiming to get to $10,350. Not quite at the halfway point on this. We're only at 22%. But now that we have that debt taken care of, we're going to be able to put a little bit more focus on the sinking funds here. And we've already started working out that plan for that. And then third was our other sinking funds. And these are the most of our smaller ones, things for holidays, birthdays, stuff like that. And so the target date for this was the 1st of December, and that amount is $6,890. At this point, we are sitting at about 11%. We're not too overly worried about catching these up because I have these additional savings challenges that I have been doing month by month. But the thing is I have absolutely no clue for the most part how much money is on those envelopes. And I will not know how much money is in those envelopes until the beginning of December. So that is a nice unknown variable that is in the equation and something that really can't be accounted for, but it is going to be additional money that will be going to those other sinking funds or also the priority sinking funds. So I think we'll be okay. Time will tell what we have. In quarter two, we add a new goal, and that was to start increasing my investing knowledge because I have an understanding of investing in the US, but being in Australia, new things to learn about investing in Australia, being an American citizen in Australia as well, becomes even more complicated. There's a lot of different tax implications and getting my head all around it. And so right now I'm just sticking with ETFs and with individual stocks that are all domiciled in Australia just to keep things simple for now. But to increase my investing knowledge, a very simple approach in that I was going to start reading books and aiming for one book per month, which I have achieved that. I had said that I was going to find, subscribe, and listen to 7 different podcasts. And boy, this was a tough one because there is a lot of podcasts out there. There's also a lot of books as well, to be honest. And I'm actually reading more than one per month now because I keep finding new things. And I love learning. I have a thirst for knowledge. So I have found and subscribed to 7 podcasts, and I'll show what those are here in a minute. So that goal has been achieved. I had said for things like the podcast, books, resources, I would also be following blogs, anybody on their socials. So a lot of people that are in finance and such do have social media accounts. And so we've definitely been looking at that. So I spend a good bit of time, probably more time than I need to when I'm procrastinating on other things, working on that. And of course, utilizing other resources. So I have a very, very large network of people that I can reach out to and contact. Definitely using the internet, YouTube, all of that, and other resources. And so I would say that I'm ticking the box there. If anything, I need to pull back some because I've just dived in so much. And to give you an idea of some of the things that I have done, the books that I have read or listened to so far, and this was just in quarter two. So I read The Barefoot Investor by Scott Pape, The $1,000 Project, and Mindful Money, both by Canna Campbell. So if you hear me talk about The $1,000 Project, that is where it came from. Unstuff Your Finances by Melissa Brown, just because I saw the book in somebody's Instagram post and the title got me and I was like, yeah, I have to read that. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Millionaire Next Door, and this month I am reading The Broke Millennial and also finishing up The Psychology of Money. And I would strongly recommend any and all of these books, but The Psychology of Money is a really, really good read because it does get into the way that we think about things. I have subscribed to, again, I have a combination of both Australian and American, the same with my books and everything else that I am doing. So Equity Mates, Sugar Mama's Fire Play, that's Canna Campbell, Her Money Project, listening to Millennial Investing. I actually really, really like the podcasts that are geared towards millennials and younger individuals because for me, in really good terms and really understandable terms, and then I can also make my son listen to it and hope that he is learning vicariously through everything that I am doing. And he's starting to get a bit of the bug as well. I was really proud mom moment when he got his tax return and he told us how much it was. And then he said, will you help me set up so that I can invest this amount of it? And I was just like, oh, tear in my eye for that one. And so it's easy ways that you can kind of sneak in. If you have commutes or anything else, these are really easy to listen to. Same with books. Some of them have been audiobooks. If you have children in the car, teenagers in the car, and they might tune out some, or even a partner or a spouse that you want to get on board, really good way to kind of sneak in some of that information to them. So overall, I would say, we're doing okay, but we're going to make some changes going forward. So for quarter 3, we're going to have some revised financial goals. Mainly, we're going to focus on more saving and then also more investing, a lot more investing. So we're going to increase our emergency fund up to $5,000. We are not going to be going for a fully funded 3 to 6 months of living expenses. We're going to do that over time. And so currently we are at 1,054 out of 5,000. That's actually already increased some, but I didn't feel like going and changing my slides again. So we're sitting at about 22%, and we're going to see some pretty good growth on this. We've got a plan of how much we're going to do per month. We have increased our investing goal from $3,000 to $12,000. That includes a stretch goal of, if we can, even maybe $15,000. What we want to do is take what we were paying towards our debt and put that towards investing. And we think that's a pretty good plan for us. So currently we have done $3,911 in purchases out of 12,000. So we're sitting at 32.5%. We did make a few purchases here in July just because there was a dip in the market and I was like, oh, sale. And I just really wanted to get started. So I took what we had left over after paying off our debt and we went straight into investing. It just happened to be pretty good timing for us to jump in. Now we'll go to putting money aside and then having kind of a set time. So when it hits a certain amount, we'll invest it. We're going to be dollar cost averaging as well. So that will all kind of work out in the long run as well. Our financial goals for the remainder of 2021, we did have pay off our remaining loan debt. At the end of quarter 2, we had $9,877. As I said, that is now in the past and it's a dinosaur and it is becoming fuel. Save. So we have another $14,230 to save by the end of the year. Continuing to increase my knowledge about investing because you never stop learning. You never know everything. There's always more to learn. The more you know, the more you grow. Huge advocate of that. And then again, investing $12,000. So we have $8,089 left to go on that. And we've crunched all of the numbers. We've looked at the different short-term steps and short-term milestones that we want to hit along the way. And so all of this does seem extremely doable and I am on board. My husband is on board. We are a partnership in this. I do all of the talking, but he is very much a part of all of the decision-making processes. If you have enjoyed this video, if you think our financial goals are looking good, do please give this a thumbs up. If you want to see how we go with achieving these goals, do hit that subscribe button to follow along the journey and ask any questions that you might have in the comment box down below. As always, do please remember to choose kindness, show gratitude, always keep a positive mindset, and I will see you in the next video.